time. Because anywhere he can set up a table and sell merchandise, he does. We kind of bust on him, but Virgil's not in the Hall of Fame. And it's sad to see
a Hall of
Famer just to look like that, to act like that, and then everybody in there, deep down inside, everybody knows he should not be in the Hall of Fame.
There's 75 fans in the ring before intermission, dancing with them. But that wasn't a bad moment. It's just that there was, I wouldn't.
There was a match after there was a match after him. It's not even like it was intermission.
It was just
like, get the hell out of the ring,
It was brutal. I mean, and I know a lot of people shit on me for booking Nikolai Volkov and the Sandman together, but
I thought it was great.
I
thought it was freaking hilarious. When are you ever going to see the Sandman and Nikolai Volkov tag up together?
Ever.
And then you got Nikolai Volkov telling the Sandman to sing the national anthem, and Sandman's telling him, I don't know the words.
If you think that was funny, you should have heard them backstage trying to put this all together.
No.
Because, and here's the shoot behind it all. Sandman showed up to the building an hour and 45 minutes late.
Yeah.
Because he thought that he was booked somewhere, I think up in East Rutherford or something. He thought it was a JCW booking, and he went to the venue that he was booked over there for, not realizing that there was no, we were running that night, and he was booked for us. So he showed up almost 2 hours late, and they had about 4 minutes to put this together. It was really, it was really funny to me.
Well, it doesn't really take much putting together of a Sandman match, because it usually just entails him whacking people over the head with a cane.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not much technical wrestling in Sandman's career at this point.
Not at all.
But I mean, some fans, that doesn't matter though.
It doesn't matter.
He is entertaining.
It's funny, and the sick part is he comes in and he cracks open a beer like not even 10 seconds after he walked in, and he's pouring it down. He's pouring it down some kid's throat that has Down syndrome in the front row.
Yeah, he did that.
Oh my God.
100%, and I'm cringing, going, "Oh fuck, he's not doing what I think he's doing."
And not only did he does it once, the match is over, and he comes out and gives the kid another beer.
Oh my God.
Oh man, it was one of those moments where I'm going, "Oh fuck, man."
I was laughing so hard. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "There's what? How many people were there that night?" It was standing room only.
We did about 325 people that night.
And that's the one kid he picks out of the crowd.
Well, I mean, I guess if I want a beer at a Sandman wrestling event, I guess I just need to sit front row.
Yeah, just sit next to the curtain.
The cool part is, I went over to the kid's family after that. Hey man, everything all right? They said, "Oh man, they'll remember that moment for life." And I'm going, "Thank you." I'm like, "How old is he?" "Oh, he's 25. I'm like, "Okay, thank God."
Thank God. Let's ask after that. I mean, maybe it's just one of the, if you sit in the front row, and a Sandman's going to be at a match, they might have to be 21 plus. Or you're going to have to give them wristbands and tell Sandman, look for the red wristband before you pour beer down someone's throat.
Yeah, and the entrance. I know he's, he's. I love being around Hack because he's just the way he is, and
yeah.
I think it's just. He seems to have a lot of popularity. We bring him to different towns. People are really excited, and if I'm at the door, I like to ask people, "What are you here for?" And a lot of people say the Sandman, so we're happy he's part of what we do. But I think it's like Superstars of Wrestling is a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of the hardcore stuff. It's a little bit of comedy. It's a little bit of entertaining. Some really good matches take place. I mean, there's different really branches of the entire roster, and there's some of it's a throwback to the '80s, and some of it's the new school stuff.
I agree. I agree with that. And you bring in a little bit of even the outside talent. You bring in a little bit of a mix. You mentioned Nikolai, and you had Shane Douglas and Sandman, but you also had Kurt Hawkins, who is more of a modern guy.
Yeah, Hawkins is awesome, man. That was my first time ever being around him, and he's just an awesome dude with so much knowledge. And they went out there, him and Corey Abbott, and just tore it up that night. They just
they put on a really good match.
It was a pleasure to be around Kurt Hawkins. I know he's doing great things with that great pro school he has up in Long Island, and We had someone just do something actually on our show that we wound up putting on our show, and they did great. So can't say enough good things about it.
Okay, question. I'm going to kind of put you on the hot seat a little bit here, because we had this conversation regarding, a little bit of, heat, but not so much heat with JCW. You use two guys that are very big within JCW, Joey Janela, and Too Hot Steve Scott. Too Hot Steve Scott, currently your Superstars of Wrestling heavyweight champion. Joey Janela, currently the JCW heavyweight champion. What is this going to entail in the future with your champion and the use of theirs?
That's a good question, man.
I try.
I think it goes back to every company using talents differently. Joey Janela is an unbelievable fucking talent. I mean, even the stuff I see from the internet and that he does elsewhere, the stuff he's always, every time he's been with us, he just always put out quality stuff. Same thing with Steve Scott. Like, when we made the choice to, who was going to be the guy who went to the 2015 to rebrand the company, 2014, that was a decision to go with. I mean, at that time, Steve, his gimmick's hot, but what does it entail? I think the way that any other company uses them is their choice. I don't get hot if look, I understand the business is a work. I understand that. I get it. And, I think that if you're representing, I can't expect someone to be booked, let's say, in Delaware or another part of New Jersey and not do a fucking job because they're my world champion. I can't expect that. And, it is what it is. I mean, I think it's really just comes down to the point of no selling what everybody else.
Right.
That's bottom line. But I mean, I think everybody uses them differently. I like a lot of the stuff I see. I think both of those guys are extremely talented. I have all the respect in the world for them, and they're just really cool guys to be around on top of it.
So, are you going to continue to use Janela in your rotation?
100%. 100%.
Okay. And Steve Scott. Steve Scott, you're going to continue run with as your as the face of your franchise.
Right now, Steve Scott's the face of the franchise. I mean, what the future holds, I mean, that I could say that he's done a hell of a job every single time he's been out there. The people react to him. He's got a great gimmick, he's a great worker. But and you never say never in pro wrestling, and you never really know what the future holds. I mean, anything could change at any time, but. I'm a firm believer in shaking things up. So you never really know what's going to happen. In 3 weeks in Avenel, New Jersey, April 10th, or in Lacey, New Jersey, April 25th. I mean, the company's pretty much all over the place.
Yeah, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Like that to me, that was always independent wrestling. Is that they could be in your town this week, and then next month they're like 150 miles away from you. Mm-hmm. That's the way I always remember it.
Right, and you're right. And it's like, to me, it's like I look at this group, and it's pretty much been the same group of guys over the last year. And I look at the group and I go, this is like a fucking traveling circus. And like the perfect example.
It's like us. Yeah.
The Grey Wolf was the face of our company for almost a year. And, we, at that point, Grey Wolf took some other book and we really couldn't get, a lockdown bringing him back in. And then now was the time. Now is the time for Grey Wolf to come back. And I'm fucking thrilled about it. That guy is the real deal.
That guy's a monster. And, we had him on the show a couple weeks ago. Actually, we had him on the show. And we asked him when he was coming back, and then that night you posted on Facebook that you were bringing him back.
Oh yeah, well it was funny too because and it's usually my fault because I get a lot of the stuff I do when communicating with people is through Facebook. Nobody really text messages me, but like with you or a couple of the guys, and it's my own fault. I get flooded with 67 messages of guys looking for work. And then I forget what the fuck I was doing the day before. So like the day before, it's like, let me get Grey Wolf some dates and bring it back here. Let's get something cool going with him. And then it'll just slip my mind. Because quite frankly, honestly, the entire operation rests on my shoulders. I have different people that come out there, like, in the organization, like Charles Gorilla Delutri, who comes up and does a lot of, he's the vice president of my company. He helps me with different aspects of booking buildings and sponsorships. And then I have now my director of security operations, which makes sure nobody's fucking stealing from me. And that's my friend Mikey DePresco, who comes in, he's with me. But really, when it comes to the other stuff, it really all falls on me. So it's hard to not only get out there, book it, make sure the product's being presented right. Occasionally I still get out there and work. Despite the back surgery, I still get out there and love to get to the ring, but I've slowed down with that too, because right now my focus is on putting on as many shows as we can, but at the same time putting on really entertaining stuff. That when I get on the Facebook or wherever I am on social media that night after a show and I say thank you to whatever town we're in, people react to it and go, fuck, that was a really fun show.
And and there's other things that you need to concentrate on too. And I was gonna, every time I see you, you're running around like a nut at the show, so I don't really bother you.
Yep.
You said I came. We had the show at Bayville. I walked in. I said hello to you. I asked you about the table, whatever the case may be, and then like 2 hours later, you came into the back and you apologized to me for not saying hello. So you did. You said you're like, bro, I'm so sorry it took me this long to come say hello. We had a whole conversation when I first got there, but apparently you forgot it.
I'm fucked up. I don't know, man.
But this is what you need to concentrate on. You need to look. I'll be the first one to tell you. Is like, you said you're gonna do a little less in the ring, and I agree with you. You need to start taking care of you. Okay, and that includes the business, but it also includes you as a person, because you're not going to be able to run this business from a hospital bed.
Well, that's another thing. And I had this conversation with one of my associates, Mike, this morning, and it's tough. And this is the truth. And I say, like, I started this business in '97. I didn't get into promoted until 2012. I didn't get hurt in a wrestling ring. I fell in a 20-foot fucking manhole and broke my back. I was never ever. I was told I'll never work out again. You'll never walk on a cane. So basically, like, returning to wrestling probably has cost me every single romantic relationship I've been in the last fucking 4 years. Nobody could deal with the fucking stress the business puts on, really me and those people out there. And then, the after effects of, like, my body doesn't recover the way it used to. There's a lot of things that go into it. Getting epidural injections once a month at this point, I mean, I don't feel either one of my feet anymore. My hands are completely numb. That's 24 hours a day. So anybody who goes out there, and that's why I laugh at my fucking critics. They like to talk shit, because if half of them, I would go so far as say 85% of them, if they went through a 15-hour back surgery, maybe they wouldn't be stupid enough or crazy enough to even bump after that. But I've had over 62 matches since I came back from that. And that started with ECPW and moved around different places. And, if it ended now, I'd be proud of the fact that I was able to push through it. But I made a lot of errors too personally, because, my personal life suffered from my love for the business. And that's the truth. That's the truth, 100%. It's suffering now because of my love for the business.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like, I talked to numerous promoters, and they all have the same problems. They all have the same relationship issues because of the business.
And it's like people outside of the business sometimes don't understand how stressful and how hard it can be to be in this business.
But to be so passionate about something,
anything,
but I don't understand how people don't see that. If you're that passionate about what you do, that, to me, right there, says a lot about a person.
Everybody should respect the passion that anybody, yourself included, puts towards their business, puts towards their career, or anything that they love.
Absolutely. We started this radio station as a bunch of goofballs that didn't know what the hell we were doing, talking about. We were shits and giggles, and we booked a couple of people, and before you know it, people were calling us, and we decided, we all got together and we said, you know what? Do we want to do this or don't we? We got to be 100% in or we're not in. We can't be half in.
Exactly.
Stick it to your guns is like, this company's been through a lot of trying times, and it's evolved into several different forms, but And I agree with you. You gotta have the fucking balls